Okay, this will be game 2 of a silver Elo match. Helping a buddy of mine climb out of gold. This account is like silver 4, silver 3. It was the one that I tanked earlier last season, all the way to iron to help some friends get out of iron and climb through up to where they're at now. And some of those guys have went on to make it to Emerald or higher. I made these accounts to prove that you can climb out of the quote-unquote Elo hell just by focusing basically on fundamentals. Focus on your farm, focus on the things that you can control, not what you can't. A lot of people get bad mentals off a loss, especially in lower Elo. They get frustrated, get mad, flame the team, ping, be toxic. All that time spent typing, you can mute your chat and worry about getting farmed. About 70% of your games, you have an active control over whether you win or lose. A third of those games you will absolutely lose based on what we just described, people running it down and into. And I've seen that from iron all the way to master tier. Even people in higher Elo get bent out of shape over something really simple, a bad misplay, or they waited in queue times for 25 minutes to get into a game and then have somebody else mess it up or run it down, and then they get tilted and start pinging and being nasty in chat, and then it's hard to win over something like that. So that happens in every Elo I've played in. So what you do is focus on the basic fundamentals of farming, making objective plays, helping your team get those objectives, and those things translate into late game wins. Regardless of what Elo you're in, those little things add up to big things. I'll just get to the plays that kind of made this game. Going against a Echo. The bot lane here got pretty tilted and started running it down early. These guys got pretty fed. But I ended up separating from the jungle, just making those plays I was talking about and getting ahead of the farm. And my mid lane, helping him out and getting some ganks on his ear, and then going later bot lane and ganking the Tristana for the shutdown. And I ended up counter jungling the Echo hard enough that he got tilted and even got in chat and said that he was done playing. So, prime example of how you can flip what was supposed to be a losing game to start with into an easy LP win. And this is in the supposed Elo hell of silver that's supposed to be extremely hard to climb through. My humble opinion, the hardest Elo of all that I've been through is Emerald, just because no matter how good you play in that rank, you will have almost a guaranteed negative win to loss ratio, meaning you lose more than you gain. And we did that as a gatekeeper for high Elo, quote unquote, of diamond and above, because there were too many boosted accounts in diamond and above. So when they created these split resets, they made Emerald to keep the people who really don't belong there out and put decay on anything diamond and above, forcing you to play. So you're either good enough to be there or you're not. I believe that is one of the hardest Elos to climb through, not silver. Silver is pretty easy. Get the easy shutdown, and then can get there fast enough to save my Darius. If he had waited a second, I could have saved him. Either way, I pick up a double kill, and my head now in CS and 2 kills over my Echo. He is never going to recover from this. From a jungler standpoint, I'm going to out CS farm him the rest of the game off of that one bad decision. And I'm going to fast forward, skip all his farm just to show you what happens when you make those mistake micro plays. Almost first drag time, finishing up a little bit of farming. I see that my Echo was bullying my Veigar. Tried to get down there and save him. Couldn't do it quite fast enough, but I get the Q lab, kill Echo, and yet again, he is way behind now. He picked up 2 kills off my bot lane. going down there early and bullying them, so he looks like he's ahead in kills when I got him by CS, and I'm going to get a drag off of this now because of that decision to chase instead of chase his farm. Alright, we'll keep it moving. Once again, here he is trying to bully on bot lane instead of take the drag or the farm, and I'm going to capitalize huge on it. As opposed to doing that gank, he could have took dragon. They had Bryo. Still ahead to CS. I'm catching up to him in KDA. And I'm going to get him here and shut him down. There they are. Finally decide to do it. Flash over with the easy steal. Cue into him. Thankfully my Veigar is paying attention. I get 2 kills out of it. And they're going to end up smoking these two also. And here's a lane that was way ahead is now falling way behind. Luckily my Veigar got these kills. Not only did we get a drag, I set me and the jungle, or mid lane and the jungle are now far ahead of where our counterparts are going to be at. And this will translate to a huge advantage late game, as you're going to see.
Double kill.
I pick up the double kill. My Veigar was able to shut down the grubs. So at this point, objectively, they have Butkus. Not really sure what in the world Tristana was doing up that far. At that point, they didn't have Bryo. The lane wasn't shoved all the way to the turret. There was no reason to roam at that point, and that decision got these two way behind when they did have a massive advantage. I picked up a second drag. Veigar got a couple more kills in between my last kill. They do not recover from this. And as you can see, in the chat, Tristana and the Echo are pinging the crap out of each other. Their whole team started melting down when myself and Veigar started pulling ahead of bot lane and jungle. Where they were started out initially ahead off of my bot lane, who was very tilted. We ended up shutting them down and caused them the mental boom.
At last, no wars.
I ended up getting the third drag in a row while these guys were trying to go up and take Rift, which they did not get. Instead, what they got is all slaughtered. They took drag and responded. As you can see, my team is pulling way ahead. Trying to pick a fight here. I know I can beat both of them long term if they're dumb enough to fall for it, which they were. Darius rotates. I got my ult back at this point in time. Now I'm ready to do some damage. Smoke them. Ping these guys off, and instead we go into pushing objectives. Picked up a couple turrets by this point now. Last drag is spawning. Probably could have ended here, but I chose to farm it a little bit more instead and take this fourth soul. We also picked up Baron in this time, which has allowed us to get all the tier 1, 2 turrets. Massive gold advantage off of that. by this point, as you can see, the three of us have pulled way ahead of our counterparts as far as gold and KDA at this point. Echo's got me by a little farm, but I gave up farm to take objectives and get the KDA. I still had a massive gold advantage here and had map control. The game is over at this point for them. And if you can't tell from all the pinging, they're very tilted at this point. Tristana especially. She got very, very nasty in team chat. Towards her own teammates. Echo basically dumped in chat by this point and said, I'm done. I'm just going to go farm. See him do the rest of the match. Good for us. We'll take 3 LP all day. Lock in the soul, take this last little bit of farm, and we push to a victory. Pantheon takes the opportunity to drop in on them and smoke their whole team. Use the grubs to tank out real quick, clear the waves so I can get this in here. Finish out the top lane turn. We didn't even need to do this at this point, but why not? May as well add some salt to a wound, take every damn thing. Free LP. Too easy. Silver is definitely not the hardest elo to climb through.